Hello, Bronco fans and football fans alike. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown, Friday, March 19th, 2021. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Let's get right into today's video. And what I have to bring you guys is a lot of information. Most of it's Bronco related, which is obviously a good thing because this is Broncos Breakdown. And I do want to get into a couple of other things. I'm not going to start out with the other things because I want this to start out with the Bronco news. We've got good news about the Broncos, and we have some sad news. If you can tell, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I got the 0 here, and I got the number 3 here, which is number 30. And I'm going to start out with that. Philip Lindsay, earlier in the week, he was given a what they call an original round tender. Now, an original round tender is usually what they were drafted at or where they are right now. And that original round tender was worth $2.133 million. And that meant that that he would stay on the team. However, the Broncos had the first right of refusal, which means that Lindsay could sign an offer sheet with another team. And then Denver did not necessarily have to match it. If that was the case, then obviously he'd be gone. But the original round tender was put in place so that the Broncos would have an option to keep him. Now, I don't really believe the Broncos really wanted to keep him. And I'll tell you why a little bit in this video as we go along with Bronco news. So that being said, that was done, I believe, on Monday or Tuesday. And now I got an update this morning that, or maybe it was late yesterday. Yes, late yesterday afternoon. That Philip Lindsay and his agent, after meeting with the Broncos and general manager George Paton, Lindsay and his agent have agreed to part ways. So Philip Lindsay is not going to be a Denver Bronco in 2021. Now, that's not to say that the other 30 teams will pass up on him, because right now the Kansas City Chiefs are interested in him. I know, guys. I know. Philip Lindsay to the Chiefs with that pedigree of an offense. Well, you know, in my opinion, Pat Shurmur never used him correctly, and that's not to say that Philip Lindsay couldn't adapt, but apparently, you know, it's like having two positives of a magnet. You're going to repel, and I believe that's what happened here. So let's move on from the Philip Lindsay. Lindsay, thank you so much for what you did in Denver. You're the only undrafted rookie to ever go back-to-back 1,000 yards and to go to a Pro Bowl in your very first rookie year as an undrafted running back. My hat goes off to you. Thank you so much, Philip Lindsay. Gonna miss you. We're really gonna miss you. You're an awesome guy. Okay, let's move on to some other Bronco news. How about this one? Let's go to Von Miller first. Von Miller, George Paton picks up Von Miller's 5th-year option for $18 million this year. This will be the first time the Broncos fans will be able to see both Miller and Bradley Chubb on the field together. Now, we thought we were going to see that in 2020, but because Von Miller had that season-ending injury, obviously that didn't come to fruition. But hopefully, cross our fingers, guys. Let's cross our fingers if I can do this. Whatever, cross my fingers that Von Miller and Bradley Chubb both stay healthy this 2021 season. The Broncos also reached an agreement with Shelby Harris, and that's huge because Shelby Harris is very impactful. He knocks balls down on passes. His timing is impeccable. He just has a way with knocking the ball down, and that was a great agreement that they came on. So Shelby Harris signed a 3-year deal worth $27 million. This will keep the strength of the Broncos defense intact along with Miller and Chubb. And this, like I said, guys, is a great, great move by George Paton. This was brilliant. You got to keep the defense intact. You got to let them continue to work together. You got to have the coherency, the consistency, the cohesiveness. You've got to have that chemistry. And I believe that's what George Paton is doing. He's doing the right thing and not letting them walk, but he's signing them. And speaking of signing, let's go to the biggest signing the Broncos made in just the last 24, 48 hours. Justin Simmons. The Denver Broncos, according to Benjamin Albright of KOA Denver, have reached a long-term contract with Justin Simmons on a 4-year, $61 million deal with $35 million guaranteed. He is now the highest paid safety in the NFL. His yearly salary is going to be in the vicinity of $15.25 million for the year, a year for 4 years. That's awesome. Now, I don't know if Justin Simmons is the best safety in the league, but I'll tell you one thing, guys. He's the best safety the Broncos have. That's for darn sure. And then they also brought in Mike Boone. Now, on the heels of letting Philip Lindsay basically walk and come to agreement to pull back the tender, the Denver Broncos signed Mike Boone. Now, I don't know too much about Mike Boone. I really don't know anything about him. What I do know is that he was a backup on the Minnesota Vikings. And that bodes volumes because obviously George Paton came from the Vikings. So he knows Mike Boone. And he's seen Mike Boone. Now, does that mean that Mike Boone is going to possibly have a running back competition with Gordon? I don't know. Could be. I mean, Gordon's on his second year of his 2-year contract, and Boone just signed for a 2-year signed on a 2-year contract. So I don't know. I'm assuming, of course, we all know what assuming means, but anyways, I'm assuming that Gordon's going to be the featured back, and then Boone is going to come in and fill in and spell Gordon when the situation presents itself, like maybe a third down play, or maybe they'll have 2 backs in the backfield. Not sure. But anyways, the deal for Mike Boone is a 2-year deal worth $4.5 million. Now, if you look at Philip Lindsay's offer sheet, or I shouldn't say offer sheet, but his tender at 2.133, and you've got Boone coming in on 2 years for 4.5. Well, 4.5 is what, guys? 2.25. So the difference is 2.25 to 2.133 is nothing. So why didn't the Broncos keep Philip Lindsay? I'll tell you why they didn't keep him. Because they didn't believe in him. They didn't trust him. They didn't want him. I mean, that's obvious from Pat Shurmur. He didn't use Philip Lindsay correctly. He didn't want to use him. Why? I have no idea. Philip Lindsay never turned the ball over in his 3 years in Denver. In his 2 years in going back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing, he never turned the ball over. Not one time did he fumble the ball. Yet Gordon has fumbled left and right. And yet Gordon is a featured back. So I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. 2.25 to 2.133. And the Broncos say goodbye to Philip Lindsay at 2.133. I mean, to me, that's sad. That's beyond sad. And that's why I'm wearing number 30 jersey right now. Will I embrace Mike Boone? Hell yeah, if he does, great. But if he doesn't, all fingers are going to point back to George Paton and say, see, you got rid of Lindsay, and he went to such and such a team, and now he's doing such a thing for them, and look what we got. And we don't even know if Gordon is going to be suspended from the NFL because of his plea bargain of reckless driving. The NFL still hasn't made a decision on that. We don't know. What if he's suspended for 3 games, 4 games, 6 games? What if? Then we got what? Mike Boone as a starting running back and Freeman as our backup? Really? I'm not going to really come down hard on George Paton because he has done some great things with Simmons and Von Miller. But that Philip Lindsay deal was just, to me, was a heartbreaker. And it's, to me, it's devastating because Philip Lindsay gave everything that kid had for the Denver Broncos. He grew up in Denver. He played for high schools in Denver. He played for college team in Denver. He goes to the Denver Broncos, the team he's always wanted to play for. And that's how he's treated. I don't get it. I really don't understand. I wish the best for him. I know I spent a lot of time on the Philip Lindsay topic, but I have to, guys. The guy was amazing. Energetic, electric, and amazing. And sad to say, being a Bronco fan, he's going to continue to do that on another team somewhere. And I have a gut feeling we are going to end up playing that team that has Philip Lindsay as the running back. And we're going to pay because he's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder to prove something. Okay, let me move on. Let me move on to the news that I have that is not Denver Bronco related. Let me start out with, well, I don't want to end up on a tragic note, so let me go to the tragic note first. And this one's really came out of the blue, guys. It really came out of the blue. And this involves Desean Watson. Now, you guys may have heard that the Houston quarterback Desean Watson is being sued for assault and harassing of a Houston massage therapist in March of 2020. So that's a year ago, guys. But still, it's now coming to the forefront. He allegedly touched this female with his erect penis while prostituting her for sex during a visit to her home for treatment. Now, I do have an update on that, and here's what it says, and I'm going to quote verbatim. While the first 2 suits contain allegations of Watson pressing to sexualize his therapy and attempting to get the masseuses to touch his genitals, the 3rd suit claims he forced the therapist to perform oral sex on him during a session at an office building. In what is the most graphic allegation of the 3 civil filings from Busby, the 3rd suit claims that the massage therapist, who now lives in Oregon, was coerced and intimidated by Watson to move her mouth towards his penis, forcing the plaintiff to perform oral sex on him. Plaintiff did not consent to any of this conduct. The plaintiff blacked out for a few minutes from the fear. Now, I could go on, unquote, and I could go on as part of the quote, but I'm not going to. It's pretty graphic, and I don't want to go down that road. But all I'm saying, guys, is Desean Watson is in a lot of trouble. And I just found out today that what I read you was 3 allegations. Now it's up to 12. So whether or not this is not a conspiracy, but if it's a falsified suits to try and get money from Desean Watson, I would say, okay, maybe if it's 1 or 2 people, 1 or 2 females, but 12? And they all don't know each other, and they're all from different massage parlors? You know, I find that hard to believe that all 12 would be conspiring against Desean Watson. But I don't know. I don't know what the police reports are. I don't know what the investigations are. I don't know any of that. So I'm not going to speculate that he's guilty or innocent. All I did, guys, was bring you the information. And that is huge. Because as you know, the Denver Broncos are in search of a quarterback to push Drew Lock or even take Drew Lock's position. And they've been they've been forefront in saying they want Desean Watson. They've been adamant that they want Desean Watson. So this being said, and these allegations coming out, well, I wouldn't go after Desean Watson with all these allegations, because even if they're not true, there's going to be distraction off the field. There's going to be distractions, maybe even on the field. He may be suspended by the league until further investigation. We don't know. I don't know what's going to happen from this situation. Nobody does, because this is only the preliminary stage of it. But it's huge. Not only huge for the Broncos, I mean, put the Broncos aside to try and get Watson. This is huge for the NFL. This is huge for the Houston Texans. This is huge for Desean Watson and his career. Forget about the Broncos or anybody else that's interested. I mean, this could be catastrophic when it comes to the league. What's the league going to do? Their hands are going to be forced one way or another. And then what? What if Watson comes out clean and they say, okay, well, allegations are dropped? Well, it's still in the back of everybody's mind. Did it really happen? Did the females get scared and cover up? Did they come to a plea bargain? Still, it's going to be an issue Desean Watson is going to have on his legacy and career forever. Now, is that a shame? Absolutely. But if he did it, well, he's got to own up, and that's what this is all about. Okay, let me get to my last point before I get to the reason why I'm wearing the Avalanche hat. Tiger Woods. Now, we all know that Tiger Woods was in the accident, and he's recovering. He's recovering well, guys. Just wanted to give you that. But on a good note, Tiger Woods and PGA 2K video game, which is golf, have agreed to a 4-year agreement and contract. The amount of the contract was not disclosed, but this is great for guys who love to play video games and love to play the PGA Tour. Reason being, I play it. In fact, I play it a lot. I love the PGA Tour. I love playing golf in real life, so this is kind of a way I can play golf when I can't be out on the course. But it's a great contract, a great partnership, because Tiger Woods is a big name. It'll keep the game alive, because there was speculation that the PGA 2K, because it didn't have a face recognition, it was willing to sign. This is great news. I'm glad that Tiger Woods is back on board. The last time he was on board, I believe it was 2017, 2016, 2015, somewhere around there. But I'm glad to have him back. I'm glad to be on there, because now I know that the game is still going to be produced for the next 4 years, and I can still enjoy the game. Okay, guys, that brings me to my last topic, the Colorado Avalanche. Just a huge shout out. Yesterday, Avalanche beat the Wild 5-1. It was a great performance by the first line. First line, I believe they scored 4 of the 5 goals, and that was huge. That's really, really huge, because they're back in sync, and that's what we need from our first line. The Avalanche play tomorrow against the Wild again, but they play during the afternoon, so it's going to be a 12 o'clock game in Pacific time zone, a 1 o'clock game in the Mountain time zone, and we're playing the Wild again. And the Avalanche are on a 5-game winning streak. We jumped into second place after beating the Wild, so we leapfrogged them. So we have to make sure that we beat them again, so that we maintain our second place hold on our division. We are now halfway through the season. We played 28 games. There's 56 games in this reduced season. So every game from here on out counts, just like it has for the first 28. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Enjoy March Madness if you're interested in that. Enjoy the Avalanche game tomorrow, and have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next Friday. Thanks again. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.